See, we appear to be live now. There we go. I do remember how to do this streaming thing. Okay, so yeah, it's definitely been a while since I've been online. I've just had, bunch of stuff to get done. And while I've had a decent amount of free time, it's not been like schedulable free time. Like it's, in little chunks that I never know when I'm going to have them. So, yeah, but anyway, let's see if I can get stuff, remember where we were. So, yeah, I was gonna, did I get the oil going into this yet? No, I didn't. And that's probably the next thing I was gonna try and do. Yeah. Yeah, that sounds right. We have, oh wow, haven't even named, okay, so we have line 5 there, which is bringing the food up, and line 7 is bringing the bricks up. Then we'll need another one that's going to, yeah, there's going to be, see, what else did I have? Yeah, because that's going to go back with the food line. I'm eventually going to need something bringing bricks down. I think that's what that platform is going to be. So I wanted to add another cargo platform for bringing oil in, or was I going to do that? No, because the oil is like right. Oh no, because I have to bring it from the refinery. Yeah. Let's see, where is? Because there was only one, if I remember correctly. Yeah, there's one here. Oh, let's pull up one of these and just see. Is there a second refinery? No, there is just the one refinery, which is kind of annoying. So yeah, I'm gonna need eventually something running all of the way up and down the map, taken from here right the way up to there. And I'm also looking at, yeah, I was also looking at replacing that planks line, bringing planks up to there. Yeah, I'm bringing the planks up and the steel back down to shuttle. No. Oh yeah, I was gonna then bring the steel back down and drop off of it. Yeah, that was the next big project I had, was swapping the planks over and bring the steel back down to there. Yeah. And this is gonna need to come around. I might clear that field, although I'd rather try and squeeze through there. And then it's going to, yeah, it's gonna probably squeeze up there and then down there. And I'm not sure if I'm gonna, I think I'll try and come into the same station, although without it modded though, I don't think I'd be able to get enough platform capacity. Yeah, I wouldn't be able to get enough platform capacity, I don't think. So I probably will need to put in another, yeah, put in another station at this end maybe. Yeah, I think that's what I'm gonna have to do. So that's fine, I guess. Yeah, and I could still serve it with that depot though. So yeah, that'll be fine. Yeah. So what we're gonna do, and this will put it down here, which will give me more room to make that turn and thread the wiggly bit up through there. So yeah, let's get this station in. Yeah, definitely, it has been a while. So yeah, we're gonna turn this to be about parallel with that. Yeah, that's decently nice. And I'm gonna be removing this bit and possibly extending this. Yeah, I'm gonna extend this down until I can't anymore. So yeah, let's get rid of the building. Oh, apparently that won't go there. Okay, I guess I can't extend it down anymore. Well, that's fine. That is fine. Can I extend it? Yeah, I can't extend it up one more though, so I'll do that. And hope that should be enough. Although I will need to restrict this so that it doesn't pick up steel on this line, because then it'll try and bring steel from there up to here and run it all the way down. And now that I'm doing this, I'm also going to have to bring stuff into this and supply it. Let's see, did we need more goods or more machines? Yeah, we needed slightly more goods than machines. Yeah, unfortunately, in a small map in pure vanilla, it's very hard to get all your chains balanced. Like, for instance, we only have 3 of each mine, and so there's no real fully balanced steel production. But, I mean, I guess I could just rely on the one steel plant to provide for both, and that would actually get me more money running steel, but yeah, that would get me a bit more money from running the steel, but probably not, definitely not best to leave an industry just not working. I guess I could do like a hub maybe. I don't know. Although, if that's going back to here, though, I guess we could use that as a hub and feed that from both plants and that from just the one. But yeah, I think that's what we'll do. We'll feed this one will feed from both plants, and that one will only feed from that plant, but this plant will be at full 400 production, whereas that's only going to be able to handle 200, because that's only going to get these 2 mines, whereas that one's going to get 3. Well, or those 4, those 3 and that one. And that'll bring that up to full 400. That one will do 200, and then all of that 200 plus a little bit of that will go into the machines, and then the rest of this will go into the goods. I think that's going to probably be the best way to do this, and that'll also be bringing more back there. So yeah, that's going to probably be the best way to do this. And then these planks are going to be running all the way up, so we'll then run these into there and then to there. Yeah, that's how we're going to do that. So yeah, let's get out of the, oh no, we need to still be in the station menu because we need our cargo building. I'll get back into the swing of things fairly quickly. I may not be, spectacular at this game, but I am decent enough at it. Let's see, can I get just a direct connection with this? Nope. Okay, well then I'll go with this one and put in a road for it. So yeah, that's gonna go there. Just a moment. Sorry, Dad was coming in and asking me something. Anyway, okay. Sorry, just completely lost my train of thought there. So yeah, I need to connect this station up like this. If I can hook up right, come on. So we need that back enough there, and then straight into there. And that'll do it. And that should have these 2 hooked, yeah. So those 2 are hooked up. So now, theoretically it'd be best if we can, squeeze the track behind that station without leveling it so that it can continue functioning while we're building the new rail line that's going to be replacing it. But if we have to remove that truck station, I am more than willing to. Oh, the date's not running. Okay, let's get the date back on. There we go. Okay. Yep, and let's actually see if I can nudge it in a bit closer. Oop, nope, forgot about that. Hmm. Yeah, we don't want this bending back and forth. We want, there we go. That I guess that's good enough. 107 is a decent amount of speed, and then after the level crossing, we'll cut it back and then straighten it out, and we're gonna probably have to bend the other way at least a little bit. Yeah, this bit of track is gonna be pretty snaky, which is fine. I would rather weave around buildings and fields than smash right through them. Although, saying that, this is actually looking like it's gonna be decently easy to squeeze through there. I'm gonna want to come, yeah, I'm gonna come down to the corner of this field, and that'll get me in the right direction to form a bend through here. It's gonna have to be a cutting, but I guess I'm fine with that. Although I could also oh yeah, this is like a huge hill. I could probably get a tunnel going underneath of some of that maybe. Yeah, we're gonna have to not snap to this road. So we could avoid the field, or we can try just forming a tunnel and just going straight under it, which would then let us start curving into the station a bit earlier as well. Yeah, this is going to have to cross over this side of that junction. Let's see, is that okay? So we need it just far enough over the junction that it'll snap to those. Although it probably will, but it'll have to be up a bit further. Come here, you. Yeah, the tunnel's popping back far enough to break the field before it's. Let's see. I don't. Yeah. But I can definitely do it. I'll just have to delete and then replace that bit of road, which is not a big deal. I think I'll have to delete and replace 2 bits of that road real quick. But yeah. So this is just going to run straight through to like there-ish, and then dip down until we're no longer removing the field. Let's see. Yeah, it messes up the terrain there a bit. Let's try. Oh, okay, there we go. We just earned another achievement, so that's nice. What's it? Oh, okay. Well, I guess that's fine. I'll just print. Ooh, no, 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 no. You know, we'll bring it to that road, which will force. There we go. Yeah, that's nice. That's nice. That tunnel's coming out fairly nicely. And this is probably going to have to be double track though. So let's see. So I don't know if I could squeeze double track in there. I probably could squeeze a second track in there if I had to though. So yeah, we will definitely be able to double track this as it is. Although that's a bit squishy, so I think I'm gonna start the turn going a little tighter there, In fact, if I'm lucky, I can just take this straight on into the station. Although I might have to swap it to the other side of the station, but yeah, let's figure out which side we're double tracking this on. Actually, up here we have to double track this side, so hopefully we can. If not, it'll just have to merge in up here. Which, considering these are probably going to be fairly long trains, but no, we can go through there. So that's nice. So yeah, it's going to be double tracked this side. And with that tunnel, that shouldn't interfere anywhere either. So yeah, that just goes right through. There we go. So yeah, and with any luck, this can just go straight on into the station in one shot, and then we'll put that road back in. And this is going to go into the through tracks, although, yeah, we're going to need, although if it's stopping to drop off yeah, we're going to want to move the food onto that outside track and put the iron on the inside one that can go all the way through, because it's going to be dropping off iron on the way back and then pulling back out this side of the station. And it's better to put in the through track as part of the station. It just makes it a lot more convenient if you have to modify it later. Because if you put regular track right next to station track, it forms like about a million little tiny segments, and then it just, I mean, you can, click and drag, of course, but it makes it take a lot longer. But anyway, yeah, and we'll finish putting in this platform because we're going to need to move the food onto it before we set up this line. Yeah, because the food can be on whatever the heck platform we want. Oh, I missed a bit of track. Yeah, I really, if I'm definitely gonna, keep doing this, and if I am, I definitely need to look into a actual gaming computer of some sort. I mean, even if I just, ooh, okay, apparently that road is gonna need to be placed in again. I believe that was yeah, that road is for station access, so we are definitely going to need that. Just we'll need to put in the track first so that we don't have that collision issue. And then now we can put that bit of road back in. Just come here, and if we're lucky, we can go all the way through. There we go. And that'll do it. And that should still have this connected. Yep, that's still connected. Then we need just a little bit more track in here to finish the double tracking. And there we go. That now has our planks connected clear up to the end, but we don't want them up at the end. We want them up here. Let's see. Yeah, we put on this as a separate through station. Now, why did we do that? I know I had a very specific reason that I moved it onto this side of the tracks. Um, but I don't remember. Oh, I think I was gonna connect it up to, no, because it wouldn't connect to that. And it probably wouldn't connect to that either. Well, I did it for reasons. That's all I've got. But yeah, I did it for reasons, and for some reason I did it. But either way, we're gonna need a station over here that I'm gonna have to squeeze. I think that might be. I think I might have been. Yeah, I think I was looking at switching this out for one longer train, and no, I don't know. Yeah, I think I'm just gonna stick with I did it for reasons. And I think that I'm gonna put the station on this side and peel off from that and then cross over it, maybe. Yeah, that would slightly interrupt this. I might be better off repositioning that switch than forcing it to cross over a line. Or, yeah, no, because I couldn't sneak through before the switch. That's a really nice long switch. Although saying that, any junction work is going to have to go over it to some extent. So, no, I am just going to peel off over there. So, yeah, let's get in a station here. And I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to make this longer than I need. And then, and rather than put a terminus station at the end to make sure it connects up to both, I'll make it a full platform length too long, and that's not going to quite fit. Okay, I guess I won't. I wish there was a 200-meter station option. There's only 240 and 1600. You know, hopefully that'll let me get a medium building on the end there, and a extra bit of platform here. Yep, it'll let me get the extra bit of platform. And will it let me put on the cargo building to make sure that this does? Yep. Oh, no. Boo. Fine. We'll just put one of these little dudes on. And I'll budget over one so that the ramp lines up with the platform there. And, ooh, does that... Well, that's an easy enough fix. This is close enough that I can just run that up and over to there. Give it a back entrance. There we go. So, yeah. No. Actually, no, that wouldn't be able to squeeze in there. I mean, it would if I removed that platform, but... Yeah, no, I think we're just going to shift this along to after that, the switch for that one. Let's pause, because I'm going to be potentially breaking something. Actually, I think what it was... Oh, no, I was... Okay, I was looking at turning that... Oh! Yes. That's why that was there. I was going to turn this into a loop, ferrying grain from over here to over here by ship, loading it on that line, bringing it down to this station, then coming back up and picking up the stone on the way back up to bring up to the brickworks. Yeah, that's what that was. That is what that was. So, yeah. So I do need that both sides like that. But I am going to shift it up a bit so that I can get this in as well, hopefully. This might be a little too tight to get in nicely, but why am I? Yeah. Anyway, though, on a subject not directly related to what I'm doing this very moment, I mentioned in a updatey type video fairly recently that I picked up a legitimate copy of City Skylines. And yeah, I'm not going to be, interrupting this series to do City Skylines stuff, but I think that the next series I do is going to be a City Skylines series rather than another Transport Fever 2 map. I've just been doing a whole lot of Transport Fever 2, and as much as I enjoyed Transport Fever 2, you eventually hit a point where you just get kind of tired of it. Yeah, it's a very ugly junction, But as I am, yeah, this is not a, make a beautiful map playthrough. This is very much this is an achievement run. I am not trying to make things pretty. I'm trying to earn achievements. So yeah, and then I'm should be able to squeeze in the other track from there. Yeah, it slows it down quite a lot. I'm gonna whack this right the way back, and I'm gonna put it in from all the way back at the station in one chunk. And we're gonna have to take out this signal while we're at it. But yeah, you can. Yeah, this is definitely a thing I've noticed. I was doing a decent amount of City Skyline stuff, messing with some of the various features and the DLCs I picked up, and I definitely have a tendency to slip into controls for the wrong game when I'm doing these sorts of things. Like, I keep trying to, place roads and tracks the way you do in City Skylines, where you do click then click rather than the Transport Fever 2 click and drag method, and vice versa. But yeah, that'll work for getting that grain brought in there, and that'll work for getting the planks dropped off and the steel picked up. But yeah, since I'm going to need to hook up coal and iron lines though before I get that whole thing hooked up. Although for now I can hook it up anyway, and even if it doesn't need to stop at this station, it doesn't hurt anything to make it stop at this station. Now, let's see, where do the goods need to go? There's no goods going up there. So yeah, the goods will also need another platform that's headed this way at some point here. And that would be on one of a platform on this side of the station. So yeah, we're gonna move the food over to platform 3 there, or terminal 3, and then the steel is gonna drop off at terminal 2. Let's see, what we're gonna do is new line when it loads. Come on, there we go. New line from here up to here, and then back down to here. Well, no wonder you can't connect all stations. Well, you couldn't eat anyway because I need to put in the thing, but this needs to be on terminal 2. That's where you will be able to hook up when I'm ready. And this one, I'm going to filter it to not load steel. It should only be loading planks there. And then it's going to run those planks up to the tools manufacturing. And then it's going to run steel back down. And since we're hooking up this, we can we'll still have the trucks, or some of those trucks on this, but they're only going to be going from there to there, dropping off in the town. And we might do that via train at some point, although I don't know how worth it would be, but we might. But for now, I'm going to leave a good few trucks on that line to bring the stuff back into the town. Anyway, though, yeah, now that we've got that rigged, I need to come into here and put in another bit of track that is going to hook up this platform to the main line. What do you mean too much curvature? You're doing something dumb. think it's doing something dumb. No. Anyway, that's what we need. And we're going to need the same thing over here. It's going to come right down to the same point. Keep it nice and symmetrical. And eventually, at least, probably not on this side, but on this side we'll probably have 1 or 2 more platforms coming down this way for various things. Maybe. Actually, let's see, we're going to need to bring bricks all the way down at some point. But I don't think that, yeah, bricks won't go any further. And the goods and machine, we'll need goods coming down here. But the machines are already down here. We'll need a line bringing tools down, probably. Let's see, what's the issue with you? Still can't connect all stations. Oh, because I didn't finish with this. Yeah, that would explain why you couldn't connect all stations now, wouldn't it? Yeah, and this is going to be... Now, I don't think I'm going to have trains that stupidly long on this anytime soon, so I don't want it double track that far. I want it to be, you know, a nice shallow switch. And we also need... Yep, there we go. And we also need to give that area depot access, which is fairly easy since the depot is right there. We're just going to cross this over real quick. And just a, you know, super tight little bit going over to the depot. And it'll just have to run on that section of line for a little bit backwards if it needs to be sent back to the depot. That's fine with me. I mean, at some point we'll probably want something to let the depot access avoid the station if we're going to keep using that depot. Although I think we'd be better off putting in a depot like around here somewhere eventually for future lines. But this is good enough for now. This is good enough for now. So yeah, let's get a train on there. So yeah, we just got a new engine. This one is power 300, which is the best we have so far, and it is the fastest we have so far as well. So this will last us a while. Yeah, that'll be pretty good. And it's another, or is that a, no, that's a 260 from the looks of it, which is fine. I mean, I like 060s, but that's, you know, me being me. And we've got plenty of money, so I think I'm going to go ahead and, you know, double head this and make this nice and big. And we're going to bring this down till it's mediocre, which is about there. See, that's 126 capacity. That should give us a decent amount of rate. And let's chuck this on line 12 and see what that does. $146. So yeah, we'll need multiple of those. At least 2 of them. I don't know. I don't think we're shipping the full 400 up to that tools factory, although we might be. But that'll give us around 300, and we can, you know, extend those trains both by a little bit if we need to. So now let's see. I believe we were doing that for our cargo and the mint green for passenger in this save. So yeah, and then both of them, oh, they already are on line 12, so that's fine. And yeah, that's fine. Yes, and then we need to remove this station from line 4. And then very shortly we're going to need to start yeah, well, let's see. What I think I'm going to do is I'm going to set this to full load, since there should be nothing else running on the roads way up here. And then I'll just give it a little bit of time to start backing up, and then I'll delete a bunch of the extras. I think that's going to be the easiest way to balance this out. So yeah, that's how we're going to do this. We're now shipping like that. But yeah, that'll do us good. So yeah, let's see, how much is this consuming? Oh, only 200. So yeah, we only needed 1.5 of those, but it'll eventually need to ship more. Let's see. But yeah, let's get the that grain going. So yeah, we need to put the shipping harbor back in over here, I think is where it, yeah, I don't think it managed to make the connection all the way over here, although, yeah, I don't think I was able to. Yeah, no, it had to be like up here. Yeah, I remember. I mean, I could put, a station, one of my little station radius extender things on it, but it's not worth it just to get a little bit more in the way of pretties, so we won't. But we will put a new line from here to here, and then we will go ahead and take line 7, I believe it is. Yeah, that's this one. And after here, it's also going to come all the way down to there and make a stop. And that's going to really, just ruin the rate on this line. Yeah, it's down to 213, so we've got 5 vehicles. I'm going to add another 4 of them, and they're all the same. Although we might be actually we'd be better off making these ones double-headed. But anyway, though, now that I'm doing that, let's go ahead and get a few ships on the new line. Yeah, let's grab these guys. So let's start with 3 maybe, or 2. Oh, yeah. That one's set up for big ships. For some reason, I only whacked in a small dock on this one. So let's fix that real quick. And also, that just blew all of our money. I mean, we're making it back, but I forgot just how expensive ships were. There we go, that fixes it. And then now we can whack these on line 13. And let's see, 140. So yeah, we'll want 1 more on that line, and that'll do that. And then that stone line will, I mean, it'll wind up running empty for a good length of the journey most of the time. But I think in the long run, I think it will, well, I don't know, because we'll have to bring it up to rate 400 to get the stone, probably. Let's see. Yeah, that's all. That already needs 4. No, that needs not quite 300. I mean, it's producing up to the full 400, but it only is actually shipping out like 300-ish. So we will want the full 400 rate. I mean, we might be better off eventually switching to doing those 2 separately, but for now, we'll keep them merged into one. And at some point, I'll want to start combining some of this stuff. See, we're also going to need a lot more rate on this food line. Yep, and this is exactly what I knew was going to happen here. So we're gonna just and this is a good way to measure off how many we need to sell. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 7. So yeah, let's sell like 20 of them. 2, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. Yeah. Here, let's do it that way. Wait, why did that say 6? Oh, no, I didn't want 62 selected. I want 20 of them selected. Yeah, just 20 vehicles from that line, and they'll just go away. And that'll let even more continue to accrue up there. And we're definitely going to be getting rid of a lot of those vehicles. Yeah, at some point I do think that I am going to put in another station, another platform there, and try and run a train back into here, and this is going to start becoming the central hub, because that can run a delivery off to there, but we can also run another line that'll continue on down to there, perhaps ship it down to there. But anyway, yeah, we got we got the little ship and one of the big ships running grain there. So yeah, we're getting most of the grain shipped into the main food place now. So yeah, actually, since no, that needs plastic and steel. So I think next we're gonna start up the steel because we already have the line running that section. So we'll start up the steel, so that'll start getting delivered to here, and then we'll hook up the plastics. So let's see. Do we have navigable waters the whole way? Because I think that would be nice to do by boat. If that bit there is already navigable waters, which it is, so yeah, we can just run a shipping line straight through there, and that'll be a nice, fairly straight shipping connection. So yeah, we want this with one large. Yeah, and that can just whack on there. And then we'll put another one similarly right there once I have money again, which should be, as soon as any of my larger size trains actually pull in. Because I do have a lot of good, theoretically very profitable trains. But just to make sure, let's see. Yeah, that train is not fully loaded, but it's mostly loaded. So that should be enough money to be able to whack this in. Nope. I mean, it was about 600,000, but we'll need something else because we were a bit in debt. Oh, there we go. Yeah, we definitely haven't hit the, proper money snowball yet. I mean, I did intentionally run this map on hard because I wanted to, well, mainly for achievements, but that does, actively slow down the money snowball. Makes it a lot harder to achieve. Well, not harder, just slower. I mean, once you hit the money snowball, it doesn't matter what mode you're on, you'll wind up with, enough stupid quantities of money to just kind of do whatever. But yeah. And then I think we're going to have a rail line coming into there. And actually, we can also use this as a little bit of a hub and bring oil or not necessarily use it as a hub, but just join onto the main line here to run oil back to the refinery from those two wells. Yeah, this area is gonna have a decent amount of junction work. I might try and bring that like down, maybe see if I can cut through there, and into there that way to make it a bit of a smoother junction. But we're also going to have that iron coming in. That'll probably be the easiest one to hook up to this. So yeah. Although, well, I guess I could put like a tiny station in there. Yeah, because this is drop-off only. So I can put, just a tiny little bit of station in there. That'll do it. I mean, it's only, one track length, although I don't really need all of these, so I can get rid of that one, and that'll let me have, okay, I'll have to push it back a good ways, but this will still connect up, and that'll let me have, ooh, I forgot about that. So I guess I will only have one track length, but it'll look like I have two. Which, once again, this is just a drop-off station, so doing that kind of funky stuff is fine. With my normal mods, it'd be fine even if it was a pickup station, but it's fine in this circumstance, which is the important thing. I'm gonna try and stick fairly close to the coast, leave a decent amount of room to squeeze another line through. Although we just spent a whole lot of money, so we need to wait for a train to come in before we can continue. Yeah, it's gonna have to snake up there probably. Actually, we want to bring this through there a bit straighter so we can then start curving. Let's see. Yeah, we should have some train coming in somewhere before too long. Both of those are going that way. Oh, what's got all of you so snarled up? Why are you not moving? Why the heck is this train? What are you waiting for? You shouldn't be waiting for a free. Well, now that stone train is carrying through, we can remove that. Because that must have been what was causing the problem somehow. Because yeah, there's no reason for you to be waiting there. I mean, at the very least, you should be moving up to that signal. And then there's another, yeah, there was no reason for you to be waiting there, none at all. That would definitely explain part of my problem. And I have no what the heck that guy was broken with, but he was sure as heck broke with something and clogging up the entire main line. So anyway, now that that's unbroken and we have, a bunch of money as well, I'm going to start getting this in. So we're going to have that going up to there. And then apparently it wants a tunnel here. Which, let's see, that's a very shallow tunnel. We might actually be cheaper popping up higher and making a cutting. Yeah, usually you're cheaper to just tunnel. But there are rare instances like this where you're cheaper to try and go up and over and then make a big cut. Ooh, we got a problem. Okay, let's look at you. Okay, why can't you connect all stations? So it's from Xiamen down to there that you can't connect for some. So you're coming from. Oh, is that not a double slip anymore? No, that's a double slip. Hey, you should be able to get on to that line there at the double slip. Very perfectly fine. It's got to be some break in this line somewhere. My guess is it's very close to the other station. Probably a missing double slip at this end is my guess. Yep, missing double slip at that end. Well, that would explain it. They were all trying to cross over onto the wrong track because that double slip wasn't in there. That would explain the massive clogging and therefore the lack of a money snowball. Okay, yeah, we got a stupid quantity sitting here waiting. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, so 10 is that long. So I'm going to measure that with my finger. 20, 30. So yeah, about 40 more can go off of this line, which is going to bring us down to like 20 vehicles total. So yeah, let's select all and then unselect 20-ish. No, I didn't say select that when I said deselect it. There we go, that's 40 of them. And we're going to get rid of all of those. And then we'll keep, half an eye on this and see if this, starts backing up again or starts not having enough throughput. Unfortunately, most of those seem to have been the ones that already had product on it. So I just, nuked a whole bunch of tools, but that's fine, I guess. Let's see. Yeah, that's going to need some more time to continue unclogging. And I got that line fixed. Yes, and that's what I was working on and was waiting for money for, was getting this hooked up. So yeah, that's ready to go into a station now. So I'm going to put this guy, let's go decently big, and it's going to go right here. And for those two, I think I'm going to put in a separate station that's like halfway in between to try and catch them both with just the one station. Yeah, it goes decently slow in a couple of places, but even with the 80-kilometer-an-hour cars that we're going to have at some point here, that's not going to be a very big deal. And let's see, this is no good way to get depot access right now. Now let's see, so we're going to have a second line being squeezed through there, and that second line is going to need to be double track. So let's see, can I get 3 tracks through this section here? So I can get, oh, we just went into the negatives. That's fine. We'll be rapidly going into the positives once the big snarl sorts itself out and we start delivering that huge backlog of food. I'm guessing that, yeah, that I'm pretty sure that's the big icon saying that there's between 300 and 400 food there. Yeah, we just shot up to nearly 1 million, although we just dropped down to not very much again. But we're gonna keep shooting up. See, I'm gonna come in here and just see if I can squeeze a third track through there. Nope. Yeah, because that oil is definitely gonna need to be double tracked through here. So yeah, we're gonna have to squeeze that in a bit, which is fine. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna disconnect there and there. Then we're gonna triple track this going the other way. So put a second track there. And then apparently it won't snap to the end, but it will snap to the middle. So we'll have a third track there, which Okay, there it really does need to go right to the end. Actually, on both sides it does. So yeah, we're gonna have. Now I might be able to get away with putting it in one bit on the other one. I don't know. Why are you not working? Maybe if I go the other way? Yep, apparently it just didn't want to go in that way. Which, fine, I guess. Now let's see. Yeah, I think this is curving this way more than the other one's going to be, so we're going to be fine doing that from there, and then those guys are going to... Actually, I guess I could just keep it triple tracked for a while, and that would actually, not by very much money, but it does actually save slightly on terraforming costs to do it this way. And I could just, merge this into another section that's all double track, but no, I think I'm going to have the iron ore as just a single. Oh, actually saying that, I think we would actually be better off merging it in, because I probably will, at least at this stage of the game, need multiple trains. I won't be able to do it in, one massive go. So yeah, we're gonna curve this bit off. So let's see. Actually, what we want to do here is I actually am going to put this bit in as triple track just for now, while I see if I can manage to squeeze this through there, and then it's going to, curve off from there. So hopefully I can get that third bit through. Nope, of course not. I can just shift that junction there along just a smidge. It should be fine. So yeah, we're going to put this in, and then we'll put that road junction in as close to it as I can. I'm going to turn on curvy roads now. See, it looks like that's as good as I'm getting. And then up to there. Come on. There we go. And then now, instead of running alongside it there, because we were just doing that to help guide those in, we're going to now remove that. And it's going to go right the way across here. And actually, I think that's a long enough double slip that I'm just going to let it be a double slip junction. And that'll now connect that little iron shuttle line. And then these are both going to come off as shallow as I reasonably can. And it'll let me go real shallow, actually. So I'm going to do the other one because I guess it's going to be limited by where it hits that. I mean, I could shift that along to remove that problem, but although if I can just, straight up get, although actually, that being said, I'm actually going to need to be coming into here. So I think we're going to, yeah, I think we're basically just not going to be limited on that end. It's going to be about this end. Okay, so what are we colliding with? Okay, with that. So yeah, we're going to need to come further along there, which is most likely going to mean removing that signal first. Yeah, we're still colliding with the station there. Geez. Yeah, apparently this is going to be a very smooth junction. Yeah, we are going to be just limited by that. Wow. Well, okay then. Yeah, 119 is perfectly acceptable. Especially when none of our trains can do more than 64 at this point. I mean, part of me doesn't know, part of me is like, why do you even bother, forcing your stuff to be this efficient at this stage of the game? But it's all future proofing, If I can have, junctions that are 120 kilometers an hour with the old track, when I upgrade into the new track, if I decide to, run some of the really fast, very late game 160 km/h freight traffic through there, I can. Now, it doesn't mean I will, but I can, which in some cases is the far more important thing. But anyway, we're gonna get this hooked up the whole way. Oh, come here, you. So yeah, it's gonna come up to there, and then it's gonna merge in here, and somewhere just a little ways down is going to be a junction coming off for a station for the crude oil. Probably somewhere around, honestly, probably up on top of that hill, which is not a very good place for it, but oh well. But yeah, we'll get that in a little bit. First, let's just get the that iron ore coming in, and then we can add a ship to the, or a ship or two to the coal line, and then we'll need to whack some signals on there to start stuff up. But yeah, and since that area is all hooked up into that, we can actually just send the train all the way up there from this junction, which is fine. I mean, we'd be better off, though, now that we've got this area set up more, to try and, if it's at all possible, which I doubt it will be. Yeah, that's a bit too much curvature. I definitely agree, game. But what we can do to fix this is going to put, a bunch of little mini segments into this section of track, but I don't really mind too much. So what we're going to do is not like the whole way back, but we're going to knock out 2 sections of the through track. And we're going to put those 2 sections of through track in with just the regular track instead of the station, just like that. Boom. And then now this will come in just far enough there that it's not too much curvature. Although, that being said, that needs to be able to be a double slip. So actually we are going to, in fact, I think we're going to go up to there, and then we're going to start turning sharper. But no, we'd be better off going the full distance. The full distance back. Not that. That's not what we want. We want to come from there up to like, yeah, let's just go all the way in as far as it'll let us with that. And then we'll just make that a double slip, which is purely to let engines back into the depot. That's all that does. And then we can use this depot for a lot of things in the future. So anyway, for now, I'm just going to use it to whack a small train of gondolas onto that new line. We're going to grab one of these newer engines, because why wouldn't we? And we're going to bring it to mediocre, which is not bad. And we need almost 3 million to buy this. So we're honestly, now that we've got that clog unclogged, we're not like full on money snowball, but we've got enough of a money snowball going that I think we can raise that 3 million pretty quick. So yeah. Let's see. definitely nobody in the chat right now. I'm trying to be good about keeping an eye on it. And actually, I'm just going to make sure that we're not having... Oh, no, never mind. We just got it. And I have verified that the stream is still very much connected. So yeah, we're just going to put you on that newest line. If I didn't color you, but that's fine. I'll grab you as you come out, and then I'll color you. Once you do manage to come out with all this lag, geez. I really do need a proper gaming PC if I'm going to keep doing this. Yeah. City Skylines is a touch less intense, especially early on, but I hadn't even gotten to, some mega city like some of the stuff that, Biffa does. And I was still starting to have some decent lag. This was barely a gaming PC or laptop 3 years ago when I bought it, and it's been 3 years since then. So, probably waiting for free path. Yeah, I'm definitely waiting for free path. Because I put no blocking in here yet. So why don't we do that real quick? Let's put some blocking in right up there. And some more at that level crossing. Oop, that's the wrong way around though. So we'll need to undo that, remove that one. I don't know why I zoomed in to do this. It's honestly easier to do signals zoomed out when you have the little symbol that you can just click on. And I need to fix over here too. Put that road back in. Let's do that before I forget. See how that just comes out of there and slips in. I don't want it at 90 degrees. I want it to slide in like that. Yeah, it's better. Yeah, that'll need some smoothing at some point, that's for sure. Well, actually, that being said, with how low that's having to dip down, I might be able to just bridge it up at that point. Well, that's an interesting graphical error. It's the road seems to, oh, that's because there's still a tiny bit of road in. Huh. Well, that's an interesting trick. Apparently you can put in level crossings like that to force the steeper walled cuttings. I might use that at some point. Yeah, and that then removes that cutting. Interesting trick to glitch the game into doing something interesting. Don't know if it'll stay in the game, but interesting nonetheless. And then we'll pop this up and over, which this probably will be more expensive, but just, yeah, I mean, it's not. Although, that being said, I can probably make it a bit nicer by doing this. Oop, that's bridge pillar collision. Just a little more, then it should snap to having, I mean, if I can get it to do one pillar either side, that'd be ideal. Yeah, no, I'm not going to, looks like. But that isn't too bad. If this were the modern, I just do this with a steel bridge, and then it would put it in with only, one section and no pillars, and that'd be ideal. But this is as good as I'm going to get at this stage of the game. I might come back and redo that later. Or I might just leave it ugly, since this is about achievements, not about pretties. Don't know. But anyway, though, yeah, this section doesn't need a ton. Well, right now it actually doesn't need any blocking because I've only got the one engine running on it, but eventually I'm going to have 2 or 3, so I'm going to put in at least a bit of blocking, and I'm going to have more as I add more lines to this end of the map too. So there's only gonna, I'm only gonna have more need for blocking. Better to put in a ton of it to keep engines moving than to put in hardly any and have hardly any engines moving. Actually, I think I did put 2 engines on it to start with anyway, so yeah. Let's put one either end of the tunnel because we don't have lights. And I don't like putting unlit signals either inside of tunnels or coming out of tunnels, because you wouldn't reasonably be able to actually see a unlit semaphore signal coming out of the tunnel because you would be a bit blinded by the light, or inside the tunnel because there isn't much light. So I don't like to put them in there. I don't know. I guess it's one of those, unreasonable constraint things, but whatever. But yeah, that should have that sorted out. I mean, not as much blocking in the tunnel as I'd kind of like, but it's a good amount. And same sort of thing goes for this production, not as much as I'd like, but it's a good amount. We'll actually probably need to up the transport at some point here too. I'd hoped it would, just sort itself out, but it's not looking like it has. Let's see. Let's check the rate on here. I'm guessing I do still need another ship. Huh? I mean, it's almost up to 200. Tell you what I'll do. I've got a small ship on this line somewhere. Apparently it's this one. Yeah, I'm just gonna go ahead and move it. I'm gonna move this ship onto the other line, because if I remember correctly, this line was still a good bit, yeah, this line was still a good bit under rate. So then I will move that ship and duplicate this one. And that should have both the lines pretty thoroughly balanced. And let's see, can I afford to put a big ship? Yeah. Oh, now I can. And I will put this onto that coal line. And that should theoretically, I mean, it's not going to be, enough rate on either of those lines. Yeah, we've got 168 there. And we've got 181 there. So, but that will be enough to kick that into gear. And that'll start the production of that. And start selling it to here, which will bring us in even more money on that big long line we got. And then after that, now we can start on the fuel. Or not the fuel, the plastics. Bring the crude oil to the refined oil to the plastics. Yeah, if this were modded, I would whack in another oil well next to the one that's down here, and I'd whack in another refinery next to that one, and that would balance out the whole oil stuff. But I can't, so I won't. Let's see. I don't think that's connected. No, but honestly, it could be easily enough. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to just put another building, this time a fairly small one, on the end of this. And then I'm going to run a road into there. And then we can just put a, although actually if we're doing a second platform, because there's not nearly enough room for one on that side. I can do it. It'd mean adjusting a bunch of things, but well, that being said, it might let me get a more direct connection there. So let's pause for a moment because I'm going to be breaking this line for a little while. We're going to remove that, and then we're going to remove that. But if I remember correctly, yeah, because those are hooked up. So if those are hooked up, then if this has a connection over there, then those will be hooked up. And it probably we'll probably be able to get that by the time I've got enough in here to put stuff on the end, because unfortunately I can't just add one track and still be able to put buildings on. I need to add a second one so I can put platforms on. And I might wind up, actually, I doubt I'll use that as through track. I'll probably peel off somewhere else. But I mean, I could always put through, let me put it this way, if I can't get a cargo building to direct connect there, I will put through tracks to bring it a bit closer. But I can, so I won't. And then we'll have that smaller one there, and then I'm going to put a road going from there down. Not a track, a road. Because I remember how to play this game, he said very sarcastically. Yeah, there we go. And that'll connect that in. And so now we'll want this area to be run sort of like double track for a bit further. It's not going to be actual double track because I'm just going to take this and run it straight on into it is straight on into here. And then I think what I'm going to do is we're going to put this all the way over into there. It'll let me, which it looks like it will. I'll just have to zoom in to have a little more control. Yep, it will. And then I can do that there. And we'll put in a double slip switch there. So that now has access going out for both of those and coming in for both of those. And then we need coming in for this one, which means running a track here, making that a diamond, and going into there. And that should have everything hooked up here. Not the most beautiful or most elegant station entry, but it'll do. So, yeah, now that I have that, and we have that nice sweeping entrance to this area, now what I think I'm going to do is I'm going to just put a road. I want it to be, yeah, I think I'm doing it bendy might be a little easier to connect to, or it might be harder, I don't know. But we're going to put, oh, no, that's not what I wanted. That's definitely not what I wanted. That's what I wanted. So yeah, now we're going to put in, we can play it now. I fixed that, the line I broke. So now we can put this guy in over here. It needs to start out shorter, but we can probably make it longer once we've got the connection. Yeah, especially shipping from 2 oil wells. This is, if we're in vanilla game, this is going to need to be pretty big. In fact, I might make it pretty big with a turnaround loop, which I usually not worth it in vanilla, but it can save a little bit of turnaround time. Unfortunately, I have to make the platform itself longer, and I can't have a signal in the middle to expedite trains through. But while some of the ridiculous stuff I pulled off in my modded saves of getting, like, 1600 or 2400 rate out of a single line, that is just straight up not going to happen in vanilla. But I might be able to pull off. Well, I can definitely pull off 800. The question is, can I pull off 800 in the 1880s? I mean, I definitely can once I start getting the faster wagons and trains, or wagons and engines, but I'm not as sure if I can do it now. Yeah, that's about as fast I'm getting around that portion. Apparently I'm gonna have to slow down there though, so I'm just gonna put this straight in. Oh, what? Why are you not making a smooth arch? Well, probably because it's more than 180 degrees. Yep. Yeah, Transport Fever 2 doesn't like making turns that are more than 180 degrees. So yeah, I'm gonna come to there, and that'll put it at less than 180 degrees, which should let Transport Fever 2 do it in a nice, fairly smooth segment. Yeah, it's good enough. I mean, it slows down a good bit, but I think that, extra queuing area there, yeah, it'll come in here and go out there. And I think that'll let it get out of the way of trains coming in a little quicker. Especially if we say, you stop there, and your signal is right the way back there, and you have a second signal right the way up there. And also, you stop there. And yeah, and what this should do is, actually I'm going to put another one there. So what this should do is actually we're going to start putting in blocking around here too. But so basically what this has done here is, so that section of track, that little bit in there, and that section of track is all one block now. And then that's a block, and that's a block. So when a train enters that block, it reserves that block. And when it enters that block, it reserves this one. But also when it enters this block, it reserves this one, which means that a train coming in here will very quickly reserve that massive area. But it's very unlikely that a train coming in here will force a train to stop way back here, which means that in general, the train here will be given priority. It doesn't always work, but it definitely helps to keep your important lines flowing if the one that's, entering, you give it a very short block right before the junction. That decreases the chance of it, reserving the next block and causing problems. At least that's my understanding of it. I might be wrong. Don't take my word as gospel, but I'm pretty sure that's how the blocking signals work. Basically, when you enter this block, that train effectively gets to call dibs on the next block. And if another train then wants to, it has to wait for the first train before it can go. Anyway, I'm going to just whack in the rest of this blocking here. And up here. And up here, blocking for that junction. And we'll want one there, and one there, and one there, and there. And I think I am going to put in another one here because, yeah, nothing actually uses that road, so I don't mind trains parked on it. So yeah, that's got that area done. And then now, I probably am going to have to mark at least one signal as one way in order to get it to actually use that area properly. But we'll just see before we do, because I prefer to not have one-way signals. Oh, wow. Amazingly enough, it actually did cooperate. That is genuinely unusual. I'm guessing they probably put in some sort of an update that basically helps with prioritizing using these sorts of loops over, you know, doubling back and running the wrong way on this section of track all the way, basically. Just helping to sort out, double tracking, which is definitely nice. So yeah, we're going to put a oil train onto that line, which I think might be our first time using the tanker cars in this playthrough. So that's kind of nice. Yeah, and this sort of stuff is why I picked the Asia. America, if I remember correctly, America winds up with lighter weight cars than the Asia does in the later game, but in the early game they're the same weight, and Asia has very short cars for their capacity, which kind of helps with squeezing more train into less station, which I find tends to be more of a problem than power. Especially, in the late game when they start getting heavier, you can also just, double head things. And I find that the extra length saved is typically worth more than the length you lose if you have to double head. So anyway, we're going to start with just this. And this actually probably won't need a full 800 rate ever. It'll probably stabilize somewhere around like 600 from here and 200 from the other oil well or something like that. Because unfortunately, only one refinery and 3 oil wells. Each refinery takes from 2 oil wells. So, yeah. But it's definitely going to be, at least like 450, 500 on this line. And, I guarantee you we're going to need more than the one train. But for now, we'll just do the one train. But we will eventually need more. Actually, just for future convenience's sake, I'm going to put in a bit more here. We're going to have not that there. We're going to have that whacked into there. And we're going to have another one coming into there. Hey, and it got there in time for the train to repath. That was actually kind of nice. But yeah. And as that hooks up to the refinery, and then we are going to need actually another train that is probably going to depart from here and just go all of the way. And that one is going to be stupidly slow, or stupidly long. Like, it's going to take a long time, very low frequency, until I dump several vehicles on it. But that is going to be so profitable, especially once we start getting fast freight a little later on in the game. That's going to be, even at this stage with the slower 50-kilometer-an-hour limited trains, because we only have 50-kilometer-an-hour wagons, that's still going to be probably, a good $1 million in drop off. Going that far across the map. I wish there was a way to prioritize which one thing I've noticed is that with industries, right? So they're going to pick what rate they want to ship at. They're going to keep piling onto your platform whether you take it or not. So because of that, if I wanted to say force 300 to the plastic and only 100 to the fuel, I can't. So I wonder if it's going to prioritize shipping to the fuel, which is an end product, or shipping to the plastic, which is another mid-game product that's then going to go to goods, because I'm pretty sure I'm going to need a lot more goods than I will fuel. I'm hoping what it'll do is it'll only ship as much refined oil as the fuel is shipping, and then after that, the increased demand for plastic will cause it to ship more to the plastic instead of, just shipping as much as the fuel refinery can produce, and then that's it. And the fuel refineries, sucked up 300 of the 400 stuff because it's so close. Yeah. If I have to, what I might do is just stop providing to the fuel refinery for a while. I don't know. Well, that wouldn't really help very much in the long term, though. Um, but yeah. Yeah, I definitely would also like to look into trying to find more management games to play on this channel. Like Dwarf Fortress is the only management game I have, and it's one of those games where the interface is absolutely terrible. It's so difficult that most people don't find it fun. It's so slow paced, but it's also, just so like it's ridiculously complex and hard to operate, but once you can run the game, it is so rewarding. The real issue with Dwarf Fortress is between the slow pacing and the hard to understand interface. Like, let me put it this way. If I suddenly got a wave of, another 5 or 6 subscribers who already knew about Dwarf Fortress, were really into Dwarf Fortress, and would get all the Dwarf Fortress jokes, I'd start playing Dwarf Fortress on this channel. But it is such a niche market that I don't think it would be worth trying to play the game. Because I tried it once, and even to me, it was clear that it was not making good content. But you could also see, though, especially considering what the Dwarf Fortress community is like, if I had, a chat room full of, 5 or 6 other Dwarf Fortressy type people who, were giving me wacky and somewhat messed up Dwarf Fortress things to do to my dwarves, that could, be fun and be a good, interactive, streamy type experience. But just me playing it is definitely not good content. And as I tend to not get very many people in chat, and just effectively I'm streaming I'm streaming because it's more convenient than recording and editing effectively, because I mean, just wondering, yeah, concurrent viewers 1, and I'm pretty sure that's it counting my preview thing here as a viewer. So yeah, I basically don't have a chat room to interact with, and therefore I'm not so much streaming as much as I am using the streaming tool as my recording platform so I don't have to edit. And with that being the case, something like Dwarf Fortress that would only be fun if, you know, the community's getting in on it, when there's not much of a community and what little there is doesn't particularly want to get in on it. Basically what I'm saying is, as cool as it would be to do, you know, funny Dwarf Fortress things, I don't think I'm going to be trying to do Dwarf Fortress anytime soon. But one thing that I might do is, there's a fun game called Stonehearth that I've been, you know, completely hooked on watching other people play. And, you know, I've actually wound up subscribing to 2 new YouTubers just because I got tired of waiting for the one person I was already subscribed to who played Stonehearth to do it, and I wound up finding 2 more YouTubers I like just looking for Stonehearth videos. But anyway, though, it's a management game. It's not as it's like the difference between a, you know, server rack and a PC is the difference between that Dwarf Fortress and that. Dwarf Fortress is a much more powerful, I guess is the best word I can come up for, management simulator type game, but it is so much harder to use and interact with, whereas Stonehearth is so much more cutesy, and it's just, you know, I mean, there's, you know, a lot of combat type stuff in it, almost as much as in Dwarf Fortress, but you can also, you know, just play on easy mode, not have as many enemies that are as challenging, and just kind of, you know, sit back and have, you know, fun times with your adorable little hearthlings. And and also because it's 3D instead of flat 2D and with ASCII art, it's also a lot easier to make very beautiful things in Stonehearth. So yeah. Now I don't think that Stonehearth has any sort of like minecart type systems, which I love which I've found a love for playing with in Dwarf Fortress. But it does have it also has, you know, a lot more to its building system, which, while it can be frustrating, can also be really cool. And all this coming from somebody who's literally never played it, but has spent probably, you know, 10 hours over the past couple of weeks. You know what? I'm deluding myself if I think it's only been 10 hours over the past couple of weeks. Probably more like, you know, 15 over the past couple of weeks of binging other people's Stonehearth series. So yeah. But I mean, it's mostly like before bed when it's, you know, too late to be streaming anyway, or in, you know, short bursts, or too early. Basically, with the, you know, audience that exists for this game, I've got a very small window where it's, you know, late both. Basically, there's a very short window where it's at a good time for me to be streaming. If I stream, you know, too early in the day, that just becomes less and less convenient for me. But if I stream, you know, any later than this, that's like stupid late in the, you know, UK and in like the UK type region. And one thing that I've noticed is that the vast majority of the um, content creators and community for this are, you know, UK and Europe. So it's kind of not worth, you know, playing a game and then doing and streaming it at a time when, you know, most of your audience is asleep. Anyway, I've been, you know, waffling on, and some semi-intentionally, to give myself enough time to get some money together so that we can get more vehicles on this line. Because it's currently at a rate of 56, and it's going to need to be up to like 400 or 500. And I don't think I'm going to be able to get another. Yeah, nope. Well, at least that's a little more. I mean, now it hasn't started, piling up stupidly yet. My guess is it hasn't started piling up because the fuel refinery isn't shipping out anywhere, and so it isn't leveling up. Yeah, and so that's only demanding 100. So therefore, that is only shipping 100, and this can't level up. So therefore, one oil well is enough, and so that just the stuff coming in from that oil well is enough. Yeah, that's definitely what it is. So I think I would probably be fairly well served in running a line from here. I could probably make this a terminus, put a road connection there, and then put a second platform. I'd have to squeeze a second, turn that into proper double track, which I'll bet you I could do. Squeeze a second platform in there, and then run a train delivering fuel down here, which would have to be just, a tiny little drop-off platform. But I could do that. And then truck it into the town, deliver fuel. Although, honestly, I mean, yeah, no, I will need to do that at some point anyway. Just in order to get things like, the industrialist and epic achievement, I'll need to do that. So I may as well. Even if it will, wind up inevitably drawing resources away from the plastics line, which I really want to be stupidly high rate and profitable, but oh well. So yeah, what we need to do here is firstly pause for a moment. I'll actually no, I'm going to let this train get all the way into the station so I know as how far back the switch can be. Yeah, we're going to wait for him to stop, and then we're going to pause. And that's where I'm going to put the switch. Okay, so yeah, I put it a good bit further back than it has to be. Oh, a lot further back than that. Jeez, wow. Oh yeah, it's because I, stupidly extended the actual station bit. So yeah, it can be like right the way back there. Jeez, yeah. I mean, we're going to put it, a bit further back than it has to be because I'm probably going to make those trains a bit longer eventually. But yeah, I'm going to come from like there. In fact, just make sure that it's proper double track and not, just a little bit off. I'm going to take it all the way back to here. And now, yes, oh wow, and it actually makes a little bit of double tracking there too, which is, I've never seen it really do that. That's kind of cool. It's, just close enough to running in parallel right next to it that it puts in the connecting ballast, but it's just far enough off that it looks really strange. I mean, I don't have a problem with it, but I don't know. Interesting graphical things are interesting graphical things. Anyway, let's go into this station and put in another big platform. I mean, we don't need it to be the full length, but may as well make it the full length, and then we can probably just get, one train. So anyway, each of these is 40 meters? Yeah, each of these is 40 meters, so 280 meters will fit within the station. So I think I'm going to do one big fuel train that's 280 meters rather than doing two small ones. And that should do a decent job of handling whatever output that has. And I can go definitely a bit more than that. Go about the same length as the other ones, but so 280, but more than 280, not less than 280, basically. But I'm going to shoot for 280. And apparently, I still need to put one more bit of track in there. So yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, so. Oop, and I forgot to whack the building on the end. Let's see, is it wide enough for this one to look good? Maybe I might be better off with this one though. Or I could, yeah, that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna do this one with a loading bay. Because I really do like the way this building looks when you add on the loading bay module, like that. And then it gives you that nice little nook that you can sort of tuck the road into. I mean, you can't like tuck it right the way in, but you can put, oh, can't put it that close to the stop there, but I can put, oh, okay, no, it's, can't put it even as close as I did. There we go. And just right up to the front entrance. And that'll connect that up to this station. And once I fix the track here by, oh, actually, apparently it's not fully broken because they can use the double slips from the depot access to go back and forth. But I'm still not going to turn it on until after I put this in. But yeah, I'm going to make it a nice, a fairly quick junction. I'm going to try and keep it at 120. I mean, no real reason to. It's not like they're going to be able to accelerate that fast, but I prefer to, you know, keep my junctions full speed. And then and yes, and it will form a diamond there. So yeah, that's fine. Nice quick diamond with plenty of extra room there. Now we'll start it playing. Yeah. And this is one thing that I miss in this game that nearly every other game that I have. Play pause with the spacebar. Like, just about every other game has that, you know. You're paused, you hit play, it goes to whatever. I mean, sometimes it even just goes to play, but it can also sometimes, you know, go to the previous saved faster time progression setting you had all previously as well, which is even better. Actually, since that line is just going back and forth there, I don't necessarily have to put this on a separate line. I could just, or a separate platform. I could just, you know, add a fuel train to that line. And I guess that is one thing I could, you know, absolutely do, is just go into line 3 here, which has 2 vehicles. Okay, so let's see this. So this one here is, if I pull it up again. So yeah, this vehicle, if we go in here, is 252 capacity and 570 power. So that would be 2 of the newest engine with the same 36 wagons, and they just be tank cars instead of flat cars. And yeah, I could absolutely do that. And then I wouldn't have even needed to do what I just did. I think I will have them both pulling into the same platform this side because there's only going to be 3 trains in this area. But I do think I am going to separate out the loading just so we don't overflood a platform accidentally. So yeah, I am going to put it in as a new line. Just mentioning that there is another option, just I don't feel like using it. And I'll just keep one platform there though. And it has moved it over to this side, which is exactly what we want. And there's no way I'm going to be able to afford this vehicle in one go, is there? Nope. Well, we'll start with the 2 engines, which is already more than I can afford. Okay, well, I've only got, 10 minutes or so left for what I was planning on doing with this stream, so I don't think it's particularly worth trying to work on something else while we wait. So I don't know. If you guys want to go ahead and check out now, I doubt you're going to miss any vehicle unlocks or anything. And I think I'm just going to, build up this train and then chat on until I have enough money to actually buy it. So yeah, I'm going to put this up to the, oh no, it was 252, not 152. Yeah, I'm just going to whack this up to the, big capacity that everything else on this line is. And yeah, I'm just going to, chat for a little bit till we have that, either until we have that 9.5 mil or until it's, kind of too late. So yeah. And we've got, enough big money earners that I think we will earn that money fairly quick. But anyway, yeah. So, yeah, I mentioned that I've been watching a lot of Stonehearth. I wound up moving off of specifically just pulling up Stonehearth series and watching, other videos by one of the new YouTubers I found. So yeah, I stumbled into this guy looking for long Stonehearth series to go and watch, and his name is Avak, and he's, really cool YouTuber, and he's a Welsh guy who does a lot of like management type games, which is a lot of the same stuff that I, enjoy. I don't think he's done any of the like transport tycoon or city builder type stuff, which is most of what I've been doing, like actually on the channel. But yeah, just definitely a very fun YouTuber to watch. And I mean, it's not like I have, a whole lot of influence, but I'd, I'd suggest that, anybody who actually watches this, go watch him. I believe it's AAVAK is his channel name. But yeah, just yeah, awkwardly mentioning another YouTuber that I've been watching a lot of past couple of days. You know, eventually, I'm guessing eventually anybody who does a lot of YouTube stuff, especially stuff that's more pre-recorded, gets a lot better at talking to nobody. Or not talking to nobody, but talking to people who aren't there and listening currently and will be in the future. And I am decently good at that, but I've been finding more and more when making these videos that I don't know. I mean, I get that, I'm having new people coming in, but not very fast, and it feels like most of the things I had to talk about, I've talked about in previous videos, and I just feel like I'm, gradually running out of interesting things to talk about that I know. Yeah. Um, hmm. So I think I'm gonna fall back on the easiest solution of let's just look at the game itself and figure out exactly what we're going to be doing in the next stream whenever we do that, if I remember. So yeah, sometime between streams, I'm just gonna, once I'm done, or hopefully before the end of the stream, I will add that fuel train going on from there to there, and I will also probably put in the actual truck line from here up to somewhere in there. And actually, I can do that while I wait because that's fairly inexpensive. I'm not going to put the trucks on it, or at this point probably only going to be horse and wagons, because the Asia vehicle set doesn't actually have any any steam powered vehicles. It goes straight into the diesel stuff, so we have to wait for diesel stuff to become available. Yeah, I'm not going to bother trying to force a 30 meter in here because I don't have cargo trams, because I don't have the cargo trams mod, which makes me very sad. So yeah, I'll just whack a 20 meter in, and I might need a third platform at some point, but 2 should be enough to provide, 1 for industry, 1 for commerce, with a little bit of, overlaps. Some industry stuff will go on the commerce line, some commerce stuff will go on the industry line, but for the most part, this should, just be 2 lines going in. And yeah, it's going to be a while till goods are up and going. I'm going to need to get finished with plastics first. But I'm going to put this up here, which should supply fuel to all the things that need/want fuel. So yeah, and then I can, in fact, I'll go ahead and whack the line on it. And then we can just, whack some vehicles on it when we've got the train going. Yeah, and that's another thing. I mean, aside from, just the accents and dialects of your specific place, that I've noticed that most YouTubers have various, unique quirks that are specific to them, irrelevant or unrelated to whatever is considered the normal accent for their area. And that's definitely one of my verbal peculiarities, is whack it on. But yeah, yeah, I think that to get this steel up and going, what I'm going to do is run from here, probably just, yeah, I'm probably just going to, just whack a station right through that mountain. I wish I could put the station in a tunnel, but that's just not happening. So yeah, the station's just going to slice right through the mountain, and I'm going to have a road that's going to cross here to another station, and we're going to run coal to there. Oh no, actually no, because I was going to say I'm going to, and then we'll ship it across. That would be 800 rate, but because it's 2 separate resources, one coal mine and 1 iron mine rather than 2 iron mines, we can split it into 2 cargo ship lines with filters. The Dinara castles and the Schaffhausens are about equal in terms of their, limiting line rate, because the Dinar Castle, if I remember correctly, has ever so slightly more loading speed, whereas the Schaffhausen has ever so slightly more speed and capacity. So, because of that, and the way the ships queue up, it's very easy to wind up with, a big long line of ships waiting to get into a harbor, and you can, pile a ton more ships on the line, but it won't do anything for the rate. So I find that that with the vanilla ships, the best you can really get with really just about any of them, because the higher capacity ships, until you get up to the very largest vanilla ship, which I believe is the tugboat with 2 barges, up until that point, you don't have enough capacity on a ship to be able to, pick up a huge load of cargo and just keep the station clear for long enough for it to get out of the way and let the next ship in. It doesn't happen. And if you want, significantly more than 800 rate, you need some sort of ship mod that either gives them more acceleration or speed so they get out of the way quicker, or more capacity so that you don't need as many on the line. And and because of that, I don't, and just through experimentation, I found that 800 rate is about the best that you can get out of the lower end vanilla ships, and it tends to be like just under it, like high 700 somethings. So when you need 800 rate, and if you can't split it up, I don't like to use ships for it, at least not in vanilla early game, or really early game at all, because there's not any modded early game ships that I use that are better than that. I'd like to, I've looked into it, but I'd like there to be a mod with like some sort of like larger early game sailing ship, maybe. Just a moment, Mom has a question for me.
You have any library?
No.
Okay.
Apparently, Mom wanted to know if I had any library books checked out. Well, it's COVID. I haven't been to the library in months. Yeah, and I don't usually go to the public library that often. We actually have quite a lot of books around the house, and aside from, a couple of odds and ends, I mostly read Anne McCaffrey stuff, sometimes Redwall books, and then a couple of, specific books that I really like. Plus, occasionally I'll just reread the Thomas books, the original Railway series, both the Wilbur Awdry and the Christopher Awdry stuff, just because I like to. But as an outside of that, like a couple of odds and ends, I don't really have that many, series I follow that I would, be picking up books for at the library. But we do occasionally get out library books. Yeah, there was a series we've been following for a while. We wound up kind of giving up on it because it wasn't updated very often, and we just got out of the habit of checking. But it was about like, but basically from the perspective of a group of young dragons that were doing something. But yeah, and I like that book series, and we do, and I do sometimes go to the public library, and I do try to read a decent amount of actual books rather than just watching YouTube videos. Don't get me wrong, I watch a lot of YouTube videos, but I try not to just watch YouTube videos. So yeah, but yeah, on other topics of conversation that I find interesting, and you might but probably won't. Another big series that I watch, this is mostly Twitch live streams, although I tend to watch it mostly not live on YouTube, is Critical Role, which is famous enough that you might have heard of it. But basically, it's a whole bunch of Hollywood voice actors from California who, do Dungeons and Dragons stuff. And you can imagine what, professional voice actors doing, a role-playing game, especially professional voice actors that have, probably a good few of them, probably a solid, 20 years of D&D specifically experience. Yeah, it's impressive, they're very good at, in character stuff, and just basically they're just really good at it, and it's a lot of fun to watch. The only issue with it is they just came back after the COVID crisis, and that's episode 100 of campaign 2. Every episode is minimum 3 hours long, Now, I usually watch it on 1.5 times speed, which means that I can usually watch it in, 2 to 3 hours, depending on how long they went over, averaging probably around like 2.25-ish. But still, that, 100 times, 2.25 hours is like 420 some hours, and that's for season 2. Now, season 1 has like, I think, almost 200 episodes. So yeah, there's like, well over 1,000 hours of content there. And so anybody who wants to actually, catch up on the series, like I did it. It took me an entire 3-month summer vacation to watch through all of season 1 and then the first, 20 some episodes of season 2 so that I could catch up in order to, be in on everything watching it live. Now, you can, just jump in the middle, and it's still really enjoyable and probably worth doing. But if you have, if you have the time, especially, now in the COVID stuff, when you can, put full days and watch, 3 or 4 episodes a day, I would recommend taking the, month or so to at least watch through all of campaign 2, or at least, maybe like the past, 20 or 30 episodes of it in order to know what's going on. But even if you don't have time for that, it's definitely very worthwhile to jump on the Critical Role bandwagon. I mean, they have like a lot of other, sub shows that have popped up, things that are just, other things that happen to be by the same people, and so they stream it on the same Twitch channel and post it afterward on the same YouTube channel. Some of which is worth doing, especially if you're already, invested in the people themselves after watching them for a long time. But personally, I definitely don't feel most of the other stuff is as good as the actual, Critical Role show. But Critical Role is definitely really awesome. But yeah. You know what? It's annoying running out of things to talk about, and I'm definitely starting to do that. And we need like another 3 million, and we're probably, right about to, yeah, we're like about to have, a whole bunch of money spent on maintenance. So yeah, it's definitely going to be a while before we can afford that train. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to run it for a little bit, get the money. I'm going to put that train on. Then I'm going to, whack some wagons on that line. And then I'll, save it and shut down. And we will pick this up at some point. I'd like to be able to say sometime next week, but depending on how my, summer work schedule goes, that is not a guarantee. Now, I ideally, because I sort of I do very much, work the days I want to, but there's also a certain amount of, I also need to work as many days as I feel I reasonably can. What I'd like to eventually wind up doing is have things stabilized to the point where I can, work Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, Friday, and then take Wednesday to, deal with like housekeeping type stuff, do laundry, get my room cleaned up a little bit, and stream Wednesday afternoons, and then occasional Saturdays, depending on what I'm doing. And that's what I'd like to do. Now, whether that's going to happen anytime soon is a different story. But I'm guessing at the very least, once I go off to college, I should be able to have, a stable 1 to 2 streams a week. But until then, while I'm, here with a summer job, and I mean, potentially even in college, I'll wind up getting a job that's, every day or nearly so and not have as much free time. But until I have free time, it's going to be a bit patchy for a while. But I will try and, upload at least once every week or two. And I might start looking into, I mean, I've said this a bunch of times and haven't done it yet, so I probably won't. But I might, maybe, look into doing more pre-recorded and edited videos, or even just like shorter, much shorter pre-recorded and edited videos, like 20-minute to half an hour stuff, because that is something that I 100%, I can definitely, record for an hour and then put some time into editing it. Now, I'm not very good at editing yet. In fact, I am absolutely terrible at it. So that's the main reason. Honestly, that's the main reason I've been doing, a lot of streaming, despite the fact that I have a very empty live chat, is because I am absolutely terrible at editing. And at least if it's uploaded as a stream, I have an excuse for having done basically nothing to edit it. Because if it's just the VOD of a stream, then it's, you don't expect those to be edited down. Whereas if it's, an actual regular video, you kind of expect that to be a little bit more polished because it wasn't just, done live. But I don't know. I mean, the only way to get better at something is to do it a lot. So, but anyway, yeah, I'm gonna pause the date now, and I think I am gonna go ahead and sign off. So, yeah, bye.